the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
Did Danny White get it right hiring Josh Elander in your estimation?
Certainly. And obviously I thought his press conference yesterday was really good. Just first time that I'd ever heard him speak, and I thought he was, really an upstanding guy. I was really impressed with who he was. But from a baseball standpoint, it's huge because you keep the roster together and you keep those recruiting classes together. And I think that's the biggest thing through all this. You don't want, these top recruiting classes to just fizzle out. So I think that's the biggest thing. Obviously the locker room loves him. You saw the video from over the weekend, really cool. But no, you keep the roster together, and that's the big thing. And I think it's a reason that they're going to remain, a national title contender here during his tenure. And I think it was a no-brainer. And I think you saw that with how long the coaching search took. I mean, yes, they interviewed Schnall, but, I think it was Elander's job to lose the entire time. And I think you saw that with how Danny talked about him yesterday at his presser. And, I think it was one of the easier decisions that he's had to make.
Yeah, I think ultimately, it doesn't matter how you got to the decision. I've moved past that. You just got to the right decision, Caleb, which is you hired Josh Elander. To Alex's point, you're keeping these 26 and 27 stat classes together. You're seeing the reaction. Mike Wilson has all the quotes from past players, current players, future players, overwhelming support there. That it would be very, very stupid to blow that up, and all of this equity and goodwill, because that is the lone championship program on this campus right now. That is the lone juggernaut. That is the lone Death Star in their sport. To mess that up and just to rip the entire Band-Aid off and be sorry, Tony's gone, so this is all gone, would be 80 malfeasance. And I'm just glad ultimately that we arrived at the right decision, because even if Elander doesn't work out in a couple years, you play it out every single time. You could go back to the well of a Schnall or the Louisville guy or the Kansas guy, the Oregon guy. They'll be around to poach 2 to 3 years from now if this doesn't go well with Elander as a replacement.
Well, that's the key. Danny White talked about, keeping that relationship separate with, not getting chummy with assistant coaches. Well, you still have to keep that relationship at a very professional level. Josh, I talked about this as well the other night. Assistant coaches at times in programs that become juggernauts, that become kind of the pinnacle of their sports, earn the rights to be the head coach because they were around for the build and they stuck it out and they're just a part of the culture. Holly Warlick is a great example of someone who there's no question who should have had the job after Pat Summitt. Right. Holly Warlick. The problem is Tennessee wouldn't drop the relationship they had of that assistant coach. And this is a different position. They're no longer the assistant coach that led you there. They're the head coach. And if they don't do a good enough job, you have to move on. It's that simple. You can't just say, well, he did a good job as assistant coach. Let's stick it out for another year or two and see what happens. No, if they're not doing a good job as a head coach, you move on at a normal rate that you would. And that's where it's important. And I hope that's not the case with Josh Elander. But
they're great examples on campus. Philip Fulmer is the best example where he got it and promoted. I mean, Danny White's done it with Nate Oates at Buffalo. He replaced Bobby Hurley. You see, Jimbo won a national championship replacing Bobby Bowden and moving up from OC. I think that's something where it's man, it's just like any other. It's just the same as hiring. It's all a crapshoot on the outside. You just don't know.
But you can't let their accolades as assistant coach cloud their job as a head coach. You just have to be willing to pull the trigger when it's time. And hopefully that doesn't come with Josh Elander, because I like him for a lot of reasons that the former, you heard about it. You've been hearing about it for 5 years, 5 of the 8, how he is kind of the cog in that machine in the room. He's the lead recruiter. He's the guy that has really kind of driven it in the background. Not that Tony didn't do a great job as the head guy, but the guys like Josh Elander in the program are just as important. And he was a part of that. And I hope he is incredibly successful. I hope he's more successful than Tony Vitello. I hope it's multiple national champions.
And even better. He's a long-term answer, right? He's not going to flirt with and Tony, it's just I'm going to miss Tony Vitello immensely. Tony Vitello, favorite coach ever at Tennessee. I'm going to miss him. It's going to be hard not having Tony Vitello around. but Elander is like a long-term answer, right? Like he's just someone who he's got his family here. It's a different situation altogether.
Seems like it, yeah.
Like he seems like
You
he
never
loves
know,
the university.
but
He's put in the time and the equity. He could have left the last
Lane
couple
Kiffin had
cycles
kids too.
Yeah, like I think he wants to settle. And I think he not like settle for the job. You get what I'm saying? Like settle
Yes.
down. I think he wants to plant roots. I think he wants to be the long-term answer for Tennessee baseball and to keep this thing humming. The best part of it, Alex, is like I thought Q would be gone. Like I thought Q would be gone with Tony or something. Like the fact that it looks like Frank, Q, Ross. I mean, you know Ross, Caleb. I mean, a lot of the key
I was hoping
fixtures.
he'd fire him. I'm a little wishy on Elander. I thought that's a guy you need to cut ties with. There's a reason Tony shipped him off to Houston. And just say that.
That's Caleb Mitchell, Ross, if you're listening.
He knows.
Yeah,
he knows.
Yeah, y'all do like 3.5 hour pods with Ross Kimmett. Like I'll see when y'all have Ross on. Alex, like Caleb and Ross gives them like 3+ hours. I swear it was a 3-hour pod. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's probably going to change because Elander's probably already got him out on the road. Like he's not going to have time for people like us anymore.
I mean, that's the interesting. Like they're all, in all seriousness, like they're all there, but Elander does have to promote somebody, right? Like he's going to coach third. He's going to keep doing that, but he has to promote somebody from within. So it's like, it's either going to be Ricky getting moved up to one of those spots or Reynolds. What is it? Josh Reynolds, the guy from Cincinnati. So it's like, do you want to,
Josh,
isn't it Josh?
I think it's Josh. That sounds right.
So it's like either you have 2 pitching assistant coaches, Alex, or you have 2 hitting guys, which is what Tony's had the last couple. I'm curious what he does. Ryan Shepard of Rocket Up Insider brought that up last night of just the combination there. And I hadn't considered that because now that we know it's in-house, like he's got to make a choice on if it's going to be Ricky or Josh, most likely, right?
I think the big thing too, just bouncing off the positives of this is, it's the familiarity of the whole thing. Like he still plans on coaching third base. Like, that's a little detail, but for the guys that are there, it's going to, you don't have Tony in the dugout, but it feels, it's the same guys that you've been around and that you've chased national championships with. And I think that, that's the biggest thing for keeping these guys here. So, just to wrap it up, I certainly think that that's, the best case scenario for the whole situation. So it's going to be interesting to see, like you said, who gets those promotions. But no, I think, it's the best possible outcome.
Two more things on the Elander hire. I think it'll be Kivett promote to your lead recruiter role. Because he's taken on a massive, like even when he was a volunteer assistant, a massive recruiting role. And then been that since he's gotten back to campus. So I think that's kind of the easiest hire. So I think that it just makes the most sense. And then I think it'll be someone familiar with the program, whether they're here or not right now, that takes the open spot that Kiv's leaving. So someone familiar with the program, whether they're currently on staff or not, I think they're probably, it's probably just money decisions and how they're trying to manage that, I would imagine. Because you only have one paid, quote unquote, role left, which is weird, but I don't know.
I feel great about it, though.
Whatever you
want
to
it's
pay.
Just going to be awesome. Like the fact that this group's all together for Josh. I mean, he's set up for success, man. Like he is set up to keep this thing humming.
He also did my favorite Tennessee move of all time. It's what Republicans do at the national debate. They quote Ronald Reagan. He quoted Pat Summitt, and I love that. Like it's just like it's a classic. Like I'm going to get your attention, and you're going to like me after this. I loved it.
Wow. Didn't know where that sentence was going, but
have you ever watched a Republican debate? They all quote Ronald Reagan at some point in the debate. It's my favorite thing. It's my favorite game to play is when will they quote Ronald Reagan? Just go watch. You'll pick a random Republican debate and watch it. I guarantee you every single candidate will quote him.
Okay. I believe you.
It's awesome. Right. Same. And I think that's kind of the same one as Pat Summitt. Like if you see like a serious UT presser, she's probably getting quoted.
Okay. All right, I believe you.
That wasn't meant to be contentious. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, I mean it's fine. You're locked in, man.
I'm gonna have to check out some Republican debates now.
Yeah, there you go. Caleb, which Vols baseball returnees in 2026 are you buying most stock in right now to put a bow on the baseball front? Because now you're keeping we know we're keeping the band back together. We're running it back with E and everybody. Q will probably need to have a bigger influence on this team. not to give 2 shout outs to Shump on this very program, but he made a good point about like yesterday, and that like he's kind of like because you need a goalish, right? Like Tony was kind of, he was like, he got up, I mean, he's not like Elander seems like good cop, like everyone loves Josh Elander. So you need like someone to step into that. Hey, like, and I think Frank's definitely probably that guy. But yeah, I don't know. It feels like that might be Q's new role, in addition to making sure our guys are in the weight room and getting ready to hit a billion bombs at Lindsey Nelson Stadium in the spring. But yeah, that's an interesting part of it too. But in terms of who's back for 2026 for Tennessee baseball, who are you most excited?
Nicely done, nephew. The Chase Thomas podcast. Hell yeah.